Hello, everybody. Mr. Price here with our Read Aloud for the day. We are starting a new book today. It is called True, sort of. It is written by a woman named Catherine Hannigan. And we're going to just go ahead and jump right into it right now. Chapter 1. Dellie Pattison was tiny. Her hair curled tight to her head like a copper halo. Her voice was raspy, as if a load of gravel lined her throat. And Dellie Pattison was trouble. Little trouble, on the way to big trouble, and getting closer to it every day. Dellie's trouble wasn't mean. It always started with her thinking something would be fun and good. It always ended with somebody yelling, "Delaware Pattison, to your room!" or "Welcome to detention, Miss Pattison," again. And there Dellie'd be, wondering how something that had seemed so right could go so wrong. Truth is, trouble didn't find Dellie till she was 6 years old. That was the summer the Pattisons went to the county fair. Clarice Pattison said to Boomer, "Let's take the kids. They can look at the cows and go on a couple of rides." "Sounds good," Boomer agreed. And I know there's that phrase about boomers, whatever you guys say, um, you know, but that is not what the author intended with his name. That was just the name that was given to him before that phrase even came about, because this book is older than that phrase. Continuing on anyway. "Sounds good," Boomer agreed. So they piled all the children, Dallas, the oldest, then Tallahassee, Montana, Galveston, Delaware, and R.B., the baby, into the van and headed out. There were 8 Pattisons in the parking lot. Boomer checked again when they entered the poultry pavilion. It wasn't until they got to the cattle corral that Clarice realized somebody had gone missing. She counted heads, then she shouted, "Dellie!" There was no reply. The Pattisons scattered, searching under tractors and behind hay bales for her. By then, though, Dellie'd had 10 minutes of solitude in the poultry pavilion. Clayton Fitch saw it first. Chickens of every sort strutting out the front door of the building like they were going on vacation. "The chickens are loose," he squeaked. Then he ran in circles, squealing, "Great God Almighty, the chickens are loose!" Officer Verena Tibbets was at the main gate, making sure nobody got in for free. She came tearing over, hollering, "Clayton, quit squawking and catch those chickens!" She charged into the pavilion, searching for the cause of the chaos. Halfway down the line of cages, she found it. There was Dellie Pattison standing on a crate. She had her hand in the coop, pushing a chicken's backside. "Go on now, you're free," she rasped as it flapped to the floor. Officer Tibbets ran at her. She picked Dellie up and held her so close they could smell each other. "It's bad to let the chickens out of their cages. Bad, bad, bad," she roared. Then she braced herself for the bawling that was sure to follow. But this is what Dellie did instead. She smiled. The ends of her mouth went up, almost to her eyeballs. "You're funny," she giggled. At first Verena was so surprised she just stared. Then she growled. And that's how Clarice found them, one growling, the other grinning. "Take this child home," Officer Tibbets told her. So she did. It took 10 people 2 hours to get those chickens back in their cages. When they were done, Dellie was number 1 on Verena Tibbets' list of the worst children in River Bluffs. And we're actually going to take the time to read a second chapter today. So here we are with chapter 2. The trouble went on from there. When she was 7, Dellie grabbed a pan of brownies off Mabel Silcox's back porch. "Where'd these come from?" Clarice asked when she found them half-eaten in Dellie's room. "Miss Silcox left me a surpresent," Dellie told her. Her smile was so big it squeezed her eyes shut. "What's a surpresent?" Clarice inquired. "It's a present. It's a surprise. It's the best kind," Dellie explained. Mabel Silcox had another word for it. "I've been robbed!" she hollered. Clarice brought Dellie in for questioning. "You still want to call those brownies a present?" "A surpresent," she corrected her. "To your room," Clarice commanded. "But," she argued. "Go," Clarice replied. So she did. "Sometimes Ma's a mysteriosity," she told the empty brownie pan. If you haven't realized that Dellie likes to combine words, surprise and present. Curiosity is a mixture of mystery and curiosity. You'll notice more of those words as we continue with the story. When she was 8, Deli decided it was too fine a day to spend it outside and in school. Spend it inside and at school. A holiday, she declared it. Before she took off, though, she wrote a note that read, "Please excuse Deli. She'll be back tomorrow." She signed it and sent it into school with the Detbarn twins. She didn't want anybody worrying. So she did not fret, swinging and sliding at the park, when Officer Tibbets pulled up in her cruiser. She was not worried when the policewoman ordered, "Deli, get in the car." From the back seat, she waved to the people they passed, like she was in the Holiday parade. She was confused, though, when Clarice and Boomer told her, "You're grounded for a week." "This is a misaster," she told them. They did not disagree. When she was 9, Deli found the canoe Clayton Fitch kept by the river and took it for a ride. She wanted to see where she'd end up. "We're going on a Delaventure," she told the boat, and it rocked and rolled down the river for her. They came aground in Hickory Corners, 2 towns and 10 miles away. The police called Clarice. In the van going home, Clarice's lips were sealed tight with worry and fury. So Deli filled the silence. "Ma, I saw turtles as big as boulders," she said. "That boat banged into rocks and went backwards, but I wasn't scared," she went on. "Ma, next time I'm going all the way to—" Clarice pulled the van off the road. "Deli," she yelled, "nobody knew where you were. You could have been killed." Her whole body was shaking. "Ma," she explained like Clarice was a little kid, "I was wearing a life jacket." "Enough!" Clarice shouted, and they were moving again. Back home, Deli did find out where she'd end up if she took a canoe down the river. "In your room for 2 weeks," Clarice told her. She had to pay Clayton Fitch a rental fee, too. Badder, baddest," he said as she set the money in his hand. When she was 10, Deli invented the no-cuss dictionary. She made up words people could say instead of swearing, like shikes, chisel, and ball-grammit. She wrote them down, then started sharing them with all the kids she knew. "Not cussing," she told them. "Can't be trouble." There was something about the way the children said those words, though, so loud and with such delight, that made grown-ups suspicious. They asked questions, and the no-cuss dictionary and Deli were all the answers to them. For 3 dinners, Deli had soap for dessert. Bubbles floated out of her mouth as she complained, "But Ma, we weren't swearing." "It's not the point," Clarice answered. "What is?" she gurgled. Clarice just shook her head. There was more. Big trouble, small trouble, Christmas and birthday trouble, too. Still eating soap or stuck in her room, Deli never quit believing that fun was just 2 steps and a ball grammar away. She didn't stop smiling. We're gonna push on and try for 3, guys. Maybe it was because she was tiny, or maybe because her hair curled too tightly to her head, or maybe it was from being called bad too many times. Whatever it was, when Deli was 11, she took a turn, and it wasn't for the better. At first it was small things. She quit doing homework and started talking over people. None of that was new exactly. Deli'd always forget homework for some fun, and she wasn't much for manners, but now, when her teacher, Lionel Terwilliger, told her, "Mrs. Pattison, please wait, someone else is speaking," she didn't smile and say, "Sorry," like before. She slumped down in her seat. When he said, "Your homework is late. You may bring it in tomorrow with a penalty," instead of saying, "Okay, thanks," she mumbled, "Just give me the 0. "I'm worried about Deli," Clarice told Boomer. He nodded. "The bad grades?" "That's not it," she said. "The detentions?" "No. All those trips with Officer Tibbets." "It's her smile." Clarice's voice cracked. "It's gone." The smile that filled Deli's face had disappeared. In its place was a smirk. The smirk pinched her mouth crooked and just pretended happiness. It hurt Clarice's heart every time she saw it. "She'll get it back," Boomer assured her. Clarice nodded, hoping that was true. Deli did get something, but it wasn't her smile. She got the fight instead. It happened on a Wednesday at recess. Alice May Gunderson, her gunderman, kicked a ball up on the roof, and Alice May cried. Deli saw the whole thing. She knew what to do for Alice May and for fun. She shimmied up the downspout and onto the roof, "Hey, Alice May," she hollered, and kicked the ball back to her. Deli knew she'd done good. The corners of her mouth started to curl. Then Mrs. Niederbaum, the recess monitor, spotted her. "Deli Patterson, get off that roof," she shouted. So she did. There was a big map of the United States on the basketball court. Alaska was way off by itself. It was for timeouts. "To Alaska," Miss Niederbaum commanded. Deli looked at Alice May, smiling and playing again. "But," she muttered. "Go," Miss Niederbaum ordered. And Deli didn't ask why, because she knew the answer. She was bad, she was wrong, she was trouble. She trudged her way to the state of solitary confinement, hearing those words, bad, wrong, trouble, over and over, as if they were her name. Danny Novello saw the whole thing, too. He was grinning. He ran up beside Deli, bringing a crowd of kids with him. "She's small enough," he told them, "and she climbs like one. Let's see if she can talk." "Can you speak?" he asked the side of her face. The crowd giggled. "Do you talk?" he shouted in her ear. Now any other day Deli would have hit him with a "Hey, no braino, talk to me when you get one," and that would have shut him down. But the only words she could think of were bad, wrong, trouble, and they were about her. "Grrr," she growled. "Can't talk. Must be a monkey," Novello yelled. The laughs buzzed around Deli, stinging her. She slumped down on Alaska. Bad, wrong, trouble pounded her with every heartbeat. She could feel the tears pooling up behind her eyeballs. But Deli Patterson didn't cry, so she said something mad to stop the sad. "I'm sick of feeling bad," she grumbled. Right away her eyes quit watering. "I'm sick of getting in trouble and not knowing why." She slapped the state beneath her. Her heart stopped hurting. The mad was taking over. The feeling bad wasn't done with her, though. So what are you going to do about it? It sneered. The mad didn't know. Till Novello walked by, teasing, "Hey, monkey, time to go back to the zoo." It took Deli 9 seconds to catch Novello and fling him to the ground. There were 6 seconds of twisting his nose till he screamed, "I take it back! I take it back!" It took Miss Niederbaum 2 seconds to yank Deli off of him. She got 9,000 seconds of sitting on Alaska for that. But for those 15 seconds of fight, Deli wasn't sad and she didn't feel bad. And for once, she understood why she was in trouble. It was worth it. After that, if somebody snickered behind her, Deli shoved him. If a child whispered anywhere near her, Deli took her down. She got into so many fights with so many kids, only RB and the Det Barn twins would come close. Every other friend deserted her. One day, after 2 calls from school and a special Deli livery from Officer Tibbets, Clarice had had enough. "What's going on with you, Deli?" she yelled. "What's wrong?" So Deli told her, no smirk or smart stuff. "I'm horribatable, Ma." "What's horribatable?" Clarice asked. "Horrible, terrible, bad," Deli told her, "like everybody says." "That's not true," Clarice replied. "You're not bad." Clarice hadn't changed Deli's mind about her badness. Not one bit. And that's where we're stopping. We'll pick up next time with Chapter 4. Hope you guys are enjoying the start to the new story. Remember to complete your exit ticket. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.